Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Create Pretty Things. Tonight we are going to ink a t-shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. It's a Bella and Canvas V-neck. I got this one at Michael's, but I often order them online. We are going to be using this cool reusable transfer. It says Vacay, Mode, Oh Hey, and a palm tree. We are not necessarily going to use all of them, but we are going to be using a few, and we are going to be using ink for this project. We use ink when we are working with fabric because it is our permanent solution. It is chalk in a ink form, and once it is heat set, it becomes permanent on your clothing, piece of fabric, anything you that is usually a non-porous or a porous surface that you want to use it on. So chalk in the paste form is usually for it's a semi-permanent solution. It does not have to be heat set, and we use it for wood, signs, canvas, paper. Ink we use for anything that you want to be able to wash, so you want it to be a permanent application. And of course it is only permanent after it has been heat set. We heat set fabric by letting it completely dry, and then we use an iron or a heat press, even a Cricut Easy Press for it. So all I've done so far is I've separated my little transfers into pieces. I did not cut through the backer because I like to store them all as one sometimes. So this one it does. Now I am going to be using the Vacay and the Mode and the palm tree. So what we need first of all is this ink mat. So this ink mat has a protective cover. You want to save this. When you store it, you want to make sure you put it with a sticker so that you can read it. And it protects this sticky surface from collecting dust, pet dander, stuff like that. You want it to be sticky because it's going to help keep the shirt in place, and it'll keep it from moving when you have when you are inking on the outside. You want it to stay in place. So here's a little trick to get it positioned correctly. Turn your shirt inside out, or whatever you're using, your pillow. Sometimes you can slip it in there and get it just perfect. Sometimes you don't. So I found that this is kind of the best way. So I just smooth it out, and I'm going to stick this right in the center of my shirt. Now this transfer, notice it's just about the same size, same width as my ink mat, so it'll work out good. I am going to go ahead and lay this down. And this is, we have two different sizes of ink mats. This is our more narrow one, but it's longer. We also have one that's square. So depends on what you're doing. If you are doing a pillow, you might want to use the square one. Okay, so now that I have this stuck, I'm going to go ahead and flip my shirt inside out. Now you may be asking, what is this ink mat? What is the purpose? Why do I need it? Well, it does serve a very important purpose, and that is that it protects the ink from going through to the back of your shirt. So it is a barrier that will protect the ink. It does, the ink is wet, and it will seep through to the bottom of your shirt, and you'll have half a backwards design on the back of your shirt if you don't use this. So the other nice thing about the ink mat is, since it's sticky, it will hold it in place. You know that you'll get a good application that's not going to have air bubbles, and it's not going to move around on you. Also, it takes care of some of the wrinkles that you may have in there. Okay, so this is my plan. I'm going to put Vacay across the top and Mode across the bottom, and the palm tree somehow in that Vacay. Okay, so these are sticky. They're reusable between 8 and 12 times. You want to keep them clean. You want to keep them tacky. So when you are using most surfaces, you are going to fuzz it to reduce some of that stickiness. On fabric, you do not want to do that. You want it to be as sticky as it can be. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my shirt is straight. I'm going to apply my transfer where I want it. I'm going to try to make sure it's centered every little which way. I was going to measure, but I think I'm okay. I also want to make sure it's straight, and I want to make sure there's no air bubbles. So this is our ink. Let's open one up. This is our ink. It's very smooth and creamy. Now I have not used my inks for quite a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and give them a little stir before I use them. And my plan is to do a couple different colors across this shirt. I've got yellow, I've got my couture coral, white, and cadet. So I am going to apply this all with a squeegee. So this is my silicone squeegee. It has a beveled edge. It's flexible. And you can tell I've reused these many times. I'm going to go ahead and put my thumb on the circle here, dip it into my yellow paste, and I am just going to go over the V, the letter V, here on my transfer. Now, a couple things to think about. Paste is permanent. If you get it on parts of the shirt that you don't want ink to be on, it's going to be permanent. If you have it on your hands and you touch something that you don't want to be inked, it's permanent. So I can see right now that I've got an uneven application on this V. So I'm going to go over it, make sure I've got all that part of that V covered pretty well, and that it is pretty much the same consistency throughout. I'm going to go over it one more time and remove any excess ink. And this ink I'm going to put back in my jar. Back in my jar, but we're going to use every little bit of this ink. Okay? Now, I'm going to put it aside. Remember, the ink is permanent. Okay, I'm going to put this dirty stir stick in my little bowl. I don't know if I'm going to use yellow again or not, but I'm going to cap it up. Use my couture coral. And it looks pretty good. I don't think I need to mix this one. Get another squeegee, or you can clean your existing squeegee. Get a little bit on your squeegee, and I am going to slide my squeegee over the letter A. Slide it right over. Now this should be the consistency of a yogurt. It glides really easily, and the paste does not take as long to dry as, the ink does not take as long to dry as the ink. So it's going to have a little longer play time to it. Clean this off. Now this one did feel a little sticky to me, so I'm going to go ahead and add some distilled water to this, and I'll mix it back up before I use it again, and it'll be a little thinner. Next, I'm going to use the blue, Cadet Blue. I hope it's going to show on this shirt. I hope I can open the jar. There we go. And I'm going to get another squeegee for my blue, and I'm going to apply it over the C. Okay. Just cover up all that silkscreen. So since these are silkscreen transfers, it has little tiny holes throughout this transfer that are going to allow the paste to go through, and it's going to look pretty much seamless when it's on your fabric. The only thing it's not going to do is it won't, like if there's embellishments in the fabric, in the transfer, it will be okay. It will still show, it won't go through on the embellishments, but they're designed that way. I'm going to go back to my coral and get a little bit more to do my A. So I hope these colors are going to be nice and bright on this blue shirt. I love the color of this blue shirt. I think they're kind of hard to find, these pretty colors sometimes. So I was thrilled that I found one at Michael's. And this one, so I want to make sure I get the top of the A, and I want to get the sides of the A. It's a good coverage. And then I'm going to go back to my yellow. Go back to my yellow. I don't know if I had a squeegee for the yellow, did I? Yes, I did. Just apply it over that silk screen. And I am being pretty careful not to get it on any other part of the shirt that I don't want ink on. I've had many experiences where I did get it places I didn't want it. Okay. And I did kind of mix the yellow and the orange there. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Okay, so I always make sure I cap up my ink jars when I'm using them because I don't want any accidents. And I may have a little bit of yellow on here. Let's see. I'm going to peel up this transfer. I do have a little spot. Other than that, it looks really good. Here's my transfer. I'm going to clean, well, I'm going to clean it right away because I do have problems with this. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. We will dry it and we will add that palm tree and the oh yeah. I'm going to lay this down dirty side up. If you clean these right away, they're a lot easier to clean. I'm going to go ahead and get a paper towel and I'm just going to swipe over that really, really dirty side. And I usually have some water in here. Let's see if I have any. Oh yeah, I could use this one. I usually have some water for my board eraser, and I forgot to get it this time, so I'm just going to use my bottled water. I know it's kind of a waste, but I'm going to take my board eraser. It's wet, and I'm going to rub over the surface of this transfer. I'm going to go a couple different ways just to get all that paste out. Rinse my sponge. Then I'm going to take it up and I'm going to flip it over and clean the other side. Now when you're cleaning the other side, that's the sticky side, the side that you want to protect the adhesive on. So go a little carefuler, don't be as rough, just be a little gentle with it. I'm going to look at the front side one more time. Okay, I'm going to get a paper towel and dry both sides. Now even though this is sticky on the back, when I wipe over it, when it's wet with a paper towel, I can go quickly and get off that extra water. And then you want to make sure that your silk screen, you can see through it. There's no ink sitting in there. That's the key to reusing these. Cleaning them properly and storing them properly. Okay, Vacay's back on my transfer. Now you can see by looking at that, there's a little bit of staining around the green part of this transfer. That's okay, that kind of happens with some of these. It's all right. Here's what my shirt looks like so far. I'm going to lay it down and dry it. This is where I usually mess things up. Like I just got yellow right there. And I'm going to dry it a little bit so that we can lay some more transfers on it. This is called a heat tool. It's not really, really hot, but it does blow. And it's going to help me dry this a little bit. And you know what, guys? I look at some of these imperfections. Like this is not perfect by any means. I got some yellow at the top, and that looks like on my A, I didn't get quite the edges. But they're all handmade goods, and they are what they are. If you want it perfect, you might as well buy it on a store and have it made by machine, because they don't mess up. Okay, so now I have Vacay. It's not really dry, but I'm going to go ahead and add my palm tree. Now this is going to be a little tricky for me because I want it to look like it's behind the Vacay. So I'm going to put it up kind of high. Let's see, is that what I want to do? I'm going to put it up kind of high, smooth it down, and I'm going to get what is called pesto. Pesto is the color that I'm going to use right now. And since it's a brand new jar, so let's take off this lid. This is also a hard part for me too. I get my little squeegee. I have a mini squeegee, a small squeegee cut in half, so that it's smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and scoop some of that off the lid. And I'm going to start with this little section between the V and the A and try to get ink on that. Okay, and then I'm going to go as close to the A as I can and smooth this on up there. And I just realized that my ink mat may not be up that high, so I'm going to go kind of lightly, hoping that it won't go through to the back. Make sure I get all the edges of my palm tree. Okay, I think that's good. And I have one part left to do, and that's going to be the oh hey. So this is turning out to be a pretty, I think we'll do mode, vacation mode, vacay mode. I'm going to peel this up. Whoops, I don't quite see that. I got some of this. Let's see. When you look at different angles, you see different things. So I didn't get that part, and I didn't get this part down here. And those are pretty critical to the palm tree. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and peel off that palm tree. I like it. I like it. Let's do the mode. I think I'll do this in navy blue. I'm going to line it up right under the vacay. Smooth it down. I'm going to use navy blue. Make sure there's no air bubbles. And just smooth on our navy blue. Now you can see that the more area you have to do it on, the easier you're going to tell whether you're getting all your space covered. And I may have gotten some blue on the pink. I am not perfect at this. I try, but I'm not. So let's see how that looks. And I'm going to peel it slowly. If there's something that needs more ink, I can reapply it. Oh gosh, guys, it looks pretty good. I'm going to clean this real quick just because I make messes. And then I'll dry this a little bit. Now we're not going to heat set this today because lately when I've heat set things, they have still been kind of sticky after I dry them with the dryer. And then when I go to remove the heat, it takes off some of the ink. And I'd rather have good coverage. So I'm just going to go ahead and dry this right now. Clean both sides of my stencils, my transfers. Use my board eraser. Guys, so I did, the keyword for tonight is vacay. So if you're interested in this project with the product that I used, type in the word vacay, V-A-C-A-Y, into the comments and you will receive a response back from me, from my messenger bot. Whoops. And it will give you a link where you can look at it. It'll give you a shopping cart pre-built. Now the shopping cart is meant to be altered. You can take it just like it is, but don't be afraid to add something, remove something, change the colors. Make it yours, please. Please make it yours. So just because I use these colors does not mean that you have to use these colors. Okay. Let's go ahead and dry these up. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's put them back on our backer sheet. And once they're back on the backer sheet and dry, you can put them back into the container, the sleeve that they came in. And you can reposition these so that they work. But notice once again, the blue stained the mode, but the silk screen is clean. So I've got that ready to go, and I do see a bunch of yellow ink here, which is gonna cause me trouble if I don't wipe it up. Clean it. Okay, so one last thing we're gonna do is just kind of dry this up a little bit. And then tomorrow, I'll be back on to heat set this for you guys. I'll show you how to heat set it. When you heat set it, you make sure that it's completely dry. And then you put a layer of parchment between your shirt and the heat press, and you heat it for 30 seconds with the heat press, or you can use an iron with no water and move it around for about 4 minutes each side. So you're going to do the inside and the outside. Okay? Okay, so this will get me through for right now. So like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow and we will heat set this together. This is what my shirt's gonna look like. Oh, I love the colors. What do you guys think? If you love it, give it a heart. It's not perfect. I've got some extra little yellow dots here and there. And my first A, has a little bit of extra color and some areas that aren't completely filled. But it's adorable, guys. It is really adorable. So I'm gonna lay this aside with the ink mat in, and I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll heat set it tomorrow, and we'll see you guys back then. I might be on again tonight with another craft, who knows? But thank you so much for watching. Please give it a heart and share it with your friends, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you, bye.